Hey, this is Raul for Amaze magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of chatting with Jeremiah, who is one of the performers.
I am, and actually, funny enough, we're just laughing. My character's name in the show is Ralu, so we got Raul and Ralu today.
Yes, same letters, just scramble them around. and the show is Toruk by Cirque du Soleil. So with Amaze, a big part of our philosophy is kind of natural and healthy living.
Okay.
And when I look at Avatar and Toruk by continuance, I think there's a very strong message of kind of a philosophical engagement between the inhabitants and the planet, and kind of healthy natural living along these creatures where you, in a performance way you bond. Now I know I'm a nerd, and I know it's not real, but for me, again, you can always take away some of the you can take some of the, well, he speaks Navi, so it is very real for Jeremiah. But tell us a little bit about how you embody this philosophy. I know it's all part of probably when you're going out, you're in character and all this.
It starts with the makeup. Spending an hour just every day changing from being more human to being more Navi. And to me, the difference of Navi is just it's and James Cameron has described it as it's the best of mankind. The idea that like they're noble, they're honorable, they're kind to each other, they don't hold resentment. It's more of a peaceful culture. Yes, they're, instead of evolving from more of like a monkey type of thing, they're more feline.
Sure.
So they just have more of that tendency, and they're more of an apex predator on their planet. So that confidence of being like just 1v1, a Navi and a wolf or something would be, the Navi's gonna win every day of the week. Just one animal, and that confidence and that pride of that like power allows them to even have more peace and respect with the Palni, dire horse. And it's funny that you kept going back to like bond, is that there's a strong word in the Navi culture, and it's Shahelu, is the bond. So they talk about like where we would connect with the creatures.
Yes.
We used to say that there's this thing in the show, everything is connected, and we really respect the concept that I don't know what type of channel you're, but just for at least 2 hours, religion is put kind of to the side, and there's AWOL. So how wonderful would it be if you walk on stage and you just have, there's no question of, oh, am I being looked after? Is there this? No, you have an all-encompassing eye just kind of protecting you and loving you. And there's being able to connect with your ancestors. So like this idea that there's trees and a way of being able to talk to your parents, your great-grandparents, ask for wisdom and guidance. If you had that kind of foresight and hindsight, I think that people would be in just that comfort and love. I think people would be better too, just from...
Sure. Well, and a lot of times I think we can adapt some of the philosophy as we look at ourselves, because if you know, I kind of do parallelisms between our Native Americans and the natives of our world, who lived in a more harmonious way. As a matter of fact, if I'm understanding correctly, with the Navi, even when they are hunting, they do so in a humane and kinder way, because they need to eat, but it's not inflicting a terrible pain or something.
There's such thing as like mercy killing. Like if you saw like a wounded animal and they can gauge it and say this animal is either going to die painfully over a few days, or even if we don't like, it would die over a few days, or do the humane thing, and then use every part of the body to try and for the tribe or for something else. Even when they hunt, which they have to do, there's even a prayer after where it's very sending them to AWOL, and even Moe Matsmukan is them saying, relax, my brother. So they're like, actually, they call the animals, they're connected. They all are children of AWOL. So the hunting is only just a part of what it has to, what we have to do to survive, and the animals do it, we do it, but it's never malicious of cruel intent, or to be like, look at that, like a big game hunting. It doesn't have any of that element of look, I took down a Pawnee today. Like, why would you do that?
Yes.
That's that's a horrible sin. Why would you burden yourself with that?
Yes.
No, it's a wonderful, and the world that we get to play in is so beautiful. And when the creatures come to life, we have everything from dire horse beside you. We have ostrapides. We have viper wolves. It's so wonderful to have the creatures come to life too, because we have the performers, and we all really take the time and to develop a Na'vi, the language, the movement, the feline instinct, and the culture with. I keep going back to AWOL. It's all about this idea that I kind of talk about the Na'vi. This is my approach: is that Na'vi were these feline creatures, like they're like strong, bipedal feline creatures, but they were very feral until somebody at some point just connected with a tree, and they connected with the world, and they had this moment of, oh, we're not alone. We're not. Oh, there's way more, and they just had that epiphany, and they just evolved. They went from here's humans, like humans up here and Na'vi down here, and they're just like feral beasts, and then they just connect and they find AWOL, and then they far surpass us just in so many ways. And I approach it always with holding the highest regard for that culture, and it's the right place to go.
Absolutely. Well, and again, if it fits in somebody's head, which it came out of somebody's brain, I think there's certainly a lot of validity, and there's a serious takeaway. Now, coming back, because we'd mentioned Bond, Toruk, the last shadow that you will ever see.
Before you die.
Bond's exclusively only with one possible rider. It's my understanding that the Mountain Banshee, they could have like multiple riders, but
the Banshee has one rider. Palni can do multiple. The dire horses can do multiple. There's a lot of you have sacred bonds with so one rider for one Banshee, usually stuff like that. But then when it comes to Toruk, it's especially in our show, it's completely unheard of. The concept of it. This is 3,000 years before the movie, so. There's been six Toruk Maktos, riders of the Toruk, at that point. But here in the movie, it's in our show, he connects the Tree of Voices. AWOL gives him, there's a guidance, a journey, a quest to be taken. But nobody has ever done this. It's pretty much the game of you can connect to, you can connect to the tree, you can connect to the horse, you can connect to the Toruk. No, can't do it. That's the only thing. No, it has.
There's some limits.
Yeah, it has the Shahelu, but you're never going to do that. You would die.
Yeah.
No, that's no. So the idea is so absurd, so profound that you could actually be. So you can do that, and God told me I'm going to do that. That's a lot to take in.
I got you. And moving more to the human part, because a lot of the Cirque shows, when we talk to the performers, there's particularly acrobatic skills. What do you, in your character, what's involved with you being Ralu?
So first off, our entire cast is more generalist. So we have people who, in a lot of shows, they'll be like, and here is your juggler, and here is your. So we don't do that in our show as much as the person who comes out on stage and does that signature handstand moment that everyone thinks is stunning and beautiful, was also in a number of other scenes before that and was a part of the tribe. So we have performers who are widely diverse. So what I do for me, for example, is that I'm a generalist. I bring parkour, dance, movement, so I can stay in the world and play then on a rope, play on climbing poles, and playing in different tribes. A lot of it is hiding the acro, actually, because we struggle with this idea that sometimes people watch the show and they're like, there's not enough acro. They want more of a circus kind of element. But we spend so much time hiding the acro, in the sense that if you watch the show, I could spotlight and be like, double front, over here, trick, and I could, with a flashlight, show you where the tricks are. But the purpose is that if you see us do a prep and go, then we just destroyed the Na'vi, we destroyed everything that the props, wardrobe, projections have taken to really transport the audience. So just for the sake, the illusion
of being on Pandora.
So one of the things I train new artists with too is and I help bring in some of the new Na'vi and teach them the culture, but is to hide the preparations. Because if you're going to do, say you have one, let's say if you could do a double flip, and people love it, but to do the double you have to do a massive prep. We push people towards having zero, not losing the Na'vi character and just doing a single. We'd rather see the world be kept whole and also have beautiful, stunning elements, but not just throw all the artistic away just to have one more skill.
Wow.
It's a weird balance we got to play, but we still find ways to get in a lot of really cool stuff.
Absolutely. Well, and how did you get into this? This is one of these interesting things because it's very extraordinary.
All right. No, this skill set doesn't kind of cross over a lot. Like I actually put on my resume for fun. I put speaks Na'vi, but just so that it's a conversation starter. Be like, no one's gonna ever, other than in this world or in Disneyland now, they have the new Pandora world that you can go to, or Avatar Land, I think they're calling it.
Yes.
But
it's going to be in the
Disney Orlando.
Disney Orlando in the Wild Kingdom.
Wild Kingdom. Magic Kingdom.
Magic. Well, no, it's where the animal park is.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I didn't. Yeah. But yeah, apparently some of them are going to do a little bit of the Well Not the Kame and.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's my background is dance, and so they knew me as a movement specialist who also did acrobatics, and I was always a really hard worker and willing to try all sorts of different things.
Sure.
So for this one, they have an amazing casting team. They just I came in and we were playing around with some stuff on the days off, and I was like, wait, did they just hire? And I still have these look backs. I'm like, our casting just did an amazing work because we have people who are just gifted in the ability to portray with their physicality and while doing skills. For us, we did 4 different improv videos. We were, at least for me, I did one where my first ground interpretation of being a Na'vi and exploring and meeting somebody and seeing something new for the first time and how do you react with that. And there was a lot of improv. There was sending a bunch of reels and skills, and they'd say, oh, can you send another video, but can you put these skills in there while looking Na'vi? So it was definitely a process, and it was over months. And then we would come and do creation. We spent many more months creating and then running on. And still, I mean, the show is still in creation and evolution. I don't know what night you're going to see it, but the whole the show. If you had
we're here tonight.
You're here tonight.
Yes,
you see me as Ralu.
Absolutely.
The show changes and evolves 3 months ago. We have new elements, new concepts, new layering and subtext, and I work with fortunately so many amazing professionals that challenge and evolve the show nightly. We just saw, this is our 301st show tonight, and last week was 300, and I've gone on record saying I've yet to do 2 of identical shows. Technically, what actors give for each other, things that happen on stage, everything is very unique and wonderful. So being present in that kind of space is always such a beautiful thing.
Well, it is such a pleasure for us to see the creativity and embracing of going out and doing something like this, bringing a whole other planet, a whole other philosophy, a whole other language and existence.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of the philosophy and the religion and culture of it. I often say that if Na'vis were human, if we had to say it was something, it would probably be more like Buddhist.
Yeah. And
the love, the culture, the caring of each other. If you're gonna, and I've said this, if you're gonna drink the Kool-Aid for one thing, if you're gonna really just believe it for 2 hours a night every night, this is a good one. This one, you're gonna come off stage being a better person than some other things you could be doing.
Well, and it sounds like it has certainly had a profound impact on you.
Oh, when I saw the movie, I was affected by it, and
totally.
then that moment when Natiri's calls for AWA, and AWA heard you, AWA heard you. I remembered even in the just first time watching, being moved by it.
Oh, totally.
And then to really be able to get 2 feet on Pandora and really feel some of that power, it's moving. It's beautiful. We have a beautiful journey for the characters, and by the end of it, most nights I'm a little ravaged. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful.
There you go. Well, again, Jeremy, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us. If you have the opportunity, I've said it on so many occasions, Cirque du Soleil is just one of the most amazing shows there is. Toruk sounds like another one that is a must-see. So as you see this and you see them coming to town,
yep.
Make sure you see the show.
Please do. And we have fun stuff, like we have an app so people can interact with us and they can play, and we can make that connectivity less of a fishbowl and really bring it out into the space. We love when people come, and we've had so many people come and dress up, and we love
Wow.
we've had a lot of full-on cosplayers. We had super fans who speak Na'vi come, and so we've been doing the show, and because a lot of the script is in Na'vi, so like because the humans haven't come to the planet yet, so we play around in Na'vi, and there's a storyteller to kind of translate and give context. So it's always fun when if you want to bring your nerd, or if you want to bring your element of what is super fun for you to come and see the show, I guarantee we have that here waiting for you.
There you go. Well, and it sounds like, nerd or not, coming to
that's me.
see
That's
coming
me.
to
I'm
see Toruk will
comic
make
books
you a
and-
better person. So make sure you see the show at a venue near you. Again, thank you, Jeremy, very
My
much.
pleasure.
This has been Raul for Amaze Magazine.